Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. I hope you're well. So today you join me from Cervantes. I'm actually staying at the RAC Holiday Park. I've got this lovely 2-bedroom villa all to myself. It's definitely a big step up in accommodation. I've got a heater, I've got a shower, I've got a toilet, I've got a little kitchen down there with a gas stove, dishwasher. I actually used the dishwasher last night. It goes on forever, so I'm not going to use that again. I'm just going to use the sink. But it's really nice down here. I'm normally used to camping that is behind me. Along that wall, that's an unpowered site. So yeah, I've been there a few times. I've been down to the old site, but this is definitely a nice step up for me. It's not something I'm going to use often. It's just while I've got my back problems, back pain and everything. But once I'm better, then I'll be back out there and camping. But this is just a nice little luxury. I'm not used to it, to be honest. I much prefer camping. When I'm in this room, I don't feel like I'm getting the whole experience, because I believe when you're traveling and you're going to different places, camping and living out of your car, you experience the adventure in a completely different way. You get absorbed into the environment, whereas when you're in a place like this or in a caravan or anything like that, you're sort of cutting off and you're boxed in and you're in your own little environment. But when you're camping, you're a part of that environment, if that makes sense. We're going to be heading out to Pinnacles to take some photos, so I'm going to wait a little while, see what happens with the conditions. The clouds around us are quite flat. I'm hoping it will break up a little bit and we'll have a bit more drama, or a bit more contrast in the clouds, a bit more separation. It is forecast to be quite cloudy all day. We did have some rain yesterday and strong winds, and unfortunately it's washed a lot of the detail out the sand. I'm going to be shooting on film and digital. So I've got some of this nice Ilford FP4 plus black and white film. This is 125 ISO, so a nice clean image. So it's not going to be grainy or anything like that. It's going to be a nice clean file. So the camera that I'll be using this film in is actually a camera I had when I was 12. Is the Canon 3000N film camera. Yeah, gonna feel so weird using film again. Going to be using some medium format as well next year. The lens I have is just a cheapie. I really thought this was different. I like the manual focus. The front bloody rotates. But just for what we're going to be doing today, it's going to be fine, and it's going to, you know, this is just a novelty. It's another way of shooting, and yeah, and it gets me out there and getting a bit more creative. I sold my Hasselblad X1D, and I went back to something from 2010, which is this H4D 40. Love this camera, CCD sensor, very limited in what I can do, but I absolutely love it because of that. And I love how I can just take the viewfinder off. I can look down. I've got another viewfinder, so I can pop it on and I can look down, and it's just really nice. It makes me work a lot slower. I'm more methodical with my images. It's a bit like film but digital. Got 3 lenses, so I've got the 35-90, which is a superb lens. Actually, I think all my lenses now are superb. I've got my 28, I've got my 150, and I've got my 300.
Quite nice down here, very, very busy. I wasn't actually expecting it, I completely forgot how busy it would be. So yeah, but it's nice to see people out and about. And I've got my glasses on now so I can actually see a lot better. Just trying to look for some composition. I'm trying to get away from everyone. As you can tell, even where I'm parked right now, because normally this is quite a quiet area, it's busy today. Yeah, I'm trying to work out where I'm going. Also, I should mention, I'm going to go to the rest of the park anyway. I mean, this isn't going to be my only stop. There's still a lot more to see here. I can capture. Just trying to look for something here. It's difficult. So I'll put that in. It's been a while since I've loaded some film in this camera, so I'll grab that. Bring it over to in there for the film to pick up. Where is it? There we go. Close the door. I've got this nice little composition out in front of me, and I'm so used to looking on the back of the camera for what, yeah, for the, I don't know how to use the camera. I don't know how to put it into self-timer without hitting record. So I've got a composition. It's about 20 odd mil, maybe go 28. And I'm using an app on my phone called, let me just find it. It's called Viewfinder. It's on the App Store. You can buy it for about $6. And it's really handy for working out your exposure. So you just dial in the aperture that you want. So I'm shooting in manual. I want the aperture to be, I don't know the point with this lens, how when it gets soft. I think f11 should be good. So we've put in f11 in the app. Shutter speed wise, it is giving us a 2/50th of a second. So if I dial that in my camera right now, that'll give me the correct exposure that I'm seeing in the app. So hopefully this will work. I think I can, oh yeah, I've pressed it, so I've got the self timer on. So it'll go, I guess, maybe 2 seconds, 10 seconds, and it will take the shot. What is it? Adjusting my aperture. F11, there we go. Manual focus. It's bleeping at me. I'm going to take the shot. Okay, it's a 10-second self timer. It's going to take a little while. Alright, nice one. What I might do as well is just go a little bit wider. Oh wow, that isn't that much wider. Just do the autofocus on the front boulder in front of me. That's my main subject. Get that composition just right. I'm so not used to the small viewfinder. Manual focus off. Take another shot. It's quite nice working with film. Definitely something to get used to. But I know my exposure's bang on. There are some nice little textures in these sands, so I'm just going to go over and get some of those. So I really quite like these little shrubs here, nestled in these sand dunes. Now, I don't know how I'm going to really do this. We've got our aperture set, we've got our ISO set, and we've got our shutter speed set. So now it's just finding those shadows, the contrast. I feel like underexposing this just by a third of a stop. Have another look on the app, see what that looks like for me. There's no real leeway with dynamic range, so let's. Sorry to say we lost audio during stages of this clip. Yeah, I was really looking forward to talking you through my composition from a distance, so you could gauge it from where I was standing, but sadly that didn't happen. Just let down in technology and the gear, but something we'll definitely have to keep an eye on in the future. Gone back or switched over to my digital camera, and I'm going to get the same composition that I did from here. Since we were shooting about 24mm, I might have to switch to my wider lens and see what we'll get. You know, it'd be interesting to see the comparison. Now, it feels like it's possibly going to rain. I can feel something in the air. It hasn't rained yet, but yeah, we'll see. but I won't spend too much longer here. I just want to get a few detail shots. I probably won't record myself taking some photos of the dunes with my Hasselblad, but it's definitely going to be what I'm going to do in this later on. We'll do like a recap, because I don't want to wait for the amount of time to get the film processed and developed before I put the video out. What we'll do is another one, we'll do a comparison, we'll do a recap, and you know, and show you. So yeah, now let's get some shots with the Hasselblad. Turn the camera on. I've got a new memory card in here as well, which is nice. I'll switch over to my 28 actually, so we'll turn that round so we don't get any dust into this camera. On there, and put this on the camera right now. So yeah, no filters. I don't think we need them. There's no need for it. We're going to be converting these into monochrome anyway. It's just something I really quite like, and it's going to give me the sharpest results as well. So I'll spend a little bit of time here and then head over that way. Composition, manual focus. I quite like that sky. We've got some nice little light pockets going on. This lens is really nice and wide, so I'll go. I'm not after getting all the details and the textures and the sand dunes behind, but we'll do our best. Lens contacts didn't make contact again. Right, let's rotate the lens a little bit, then put it back on. There we go. It can be a bit temperamental, as we all know. Anything from 5 minutes to infinity should be in focus anyway. Focus on that one just there for me. But yeah, I quite like just a little bit of drama in the sky there. Exposure wise, we're at f11. Let's see what my, yeah, we've got plenty of detail there. I'll do a couple of shots. I want to see what my, this will be my test exposure, see what's going on there. And then, what's my, oh, I've got a 5 second self timer. Okay, that's a bit too dark. We need to bring that up a bit. So 400, probably go 1/60th. What's going on with my camera? That's saying a bit overexposed, so we'll come back a little bit. Actually, I'll go f12. Why is it doing that? Okay, hang on. Menu, self timer off, save, exit. There we go. And that way I can put it in mirror lockup. That's better. So just change the aperture to f12. We've got plenty of shadow and highlight detail in there. I'm just going scene, nice and simple. So I'll get out my, I think my 150mm and just do some detailed shots from back here and see what that gives me compared. Actually, yeah, I'll do 150mm and then I'll go back to my 35 to 90, but you don't need to see any of that, and then we'll show you what it looks like in a little slideshow. Definitely enjoyed that. Really enjoyed the shooting with film. It got me thinking a bit more. Yeah, and actually shooting to how I want the image to look versus, you know, shooting so I've got enough enough highlight detail and shadow detail, then I can underexpose or overexpose later on or do whatever. But with film, it's much harder. basically shoot to the conditions and basically how you do with JPEG. So yeah, but I've enjoyed it. So just going to head over to another spot now, a bit further into the national park. I decided to come here because the pinnacles are a bit bigger, a bit more pronounced within the landscape, and there's a lot more of them. The only thing is there's a lot of footprints around the area. They're all like leading up to these pinnacles. There's some that I really wanted to shoot over on this direction, yeah, and I can't do because it's just listed with footprints. Yeah, I've got no say in what people do, and I don't want to. You know, they're here, they've got every right to be here as much as me, so it's just something I've got to deal with, or live with, really, not deal with. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. We're going to take some photos of these pinnacles right here. So what drew me to this composition is I really quite like the root structure down here. Hopefully you can see me, hopefully the camera corrects. Yeah, you can see the roots down here. I quite like the way they're actually coming out of the ground, and they could feel like some nice leading lines. It's a nice structure. And then it leads you into the scene. I think probably what we're going to do is go for a nice square crop. Obviously we're not going to be able to do that with the film, but I think it's going to work out quite nicely. And then we've just got some nice simple pinnacles behind me, nice and tall, and a nice cluster as well, so it doesn't feel overwhelming. I think we're aperture wise, we're probably going to shoot about maybe f9, f11. Maybe a little bit wider actually to make sure we get these in focus, as well as the pinnacles and leading you backwards. What I might do as well is, I know I said earlier that I might not use filters. I think we might, and just get a little bit of cloud movement going overhead. We've got the clouds going in this general direction. I think it would work quite nicely with the scene. So I better stop talking, get the camera ready, or cameras, because we're shooting on film and digital today, and get these compositions. So I won't be using any ND filters with the film camera. We'll just use that with a Hasselblad, and when we get a better lens, we'll get some filters, put it onto that. Anyway, let's get taking some photos. I don't think this is going to be a square crop. Yeah, I think this is just going to be nice the way it is. So I've got some bushes just entering the frame on my right side, but I don't want to go too to the left because it just opens up. So I want to keep nice and sort of confined. So yeah, let's do another test shot of that. Make sure we've got it focused. Oh, that's much better. I had the focus off a little bit. And we've got all the foreground in focus, which is great. Pop that in there nicely, make sure we've got no light leaks. Then we should be fine, no light coming in. And go down f14. Oh, hang on, I've got an ISO 200. Shoot, hang on. That changes things. I had it higher because of the shooting handheld. So hopefully that's long enough. Clouds are sort of moving at a slower pace now, so I'll get a couple of shots from here, get some shots with the film camera, and then call it a day. I think we've taken enough, and I'm getting tired. I didn't sleep too well last night. Yeah, the bed's a little hard, so I was tossing and turning during the night trying to get comfortable. I've picked up my film camera while that's taking a long exposure, and we've still got a bit of a cloud cover. We've got a gap on the horizon where the sun's going to break through. I don't think it's going to be for long, but I just want to get this shot in. So going to shoot manual focus. Our settings are f9.5, ISO 125, which is the film speed, and a 1/125th of a second. I'm used to shooting handheld. I could easily shoot that, no problems at all. I've got a pretty steady hand. I've been doing this for such a long time. I've built a nice, good skill level up. can feel it starting to rain. We've got the light starting to come out, and I don't want to show myself up in the shot, so manual focus on these pinnacles. My exposure metering on the camera is saying we're good, so I'll get that shot just there, and I'll get it down a little bit further, and then we'll get this shot as well. Now I don't know, I can't do a depth of preview on this camera, which is very unfortunate, so I can't really tell where my point of focus is going to be. So I've just got to gauge it. My histogram has changed, so I'm going to go to a shutter speed of 180. Composition, going to just keeping an eye on those borders, seeing what's going on. I quite like that, that's nice. Yeah, and hopefully we've got a nice composition in there. Hopefully you could see me as well. Oh, the exposure's finished on the Hasselblad. Okay, we've got a nice bit of cloud movement in there. Fantastic. How's the exposure looking? That's good as well. Fantastic. I think we'll probably have to wrap it up now. I'm going to get a few more shots with the Canon, maybe try and finish off the roll of film, and I'll show you in another video what we've managed to capture from today, and then I'll save the other roll of film I've got for the session tomorrow when we go out. So, geez, I've taken 20 photos today just here. So now we need to try and focus on something a little different and see what we get. I quite enjoy it, and now we've got the light coming across, we've got these nice textures and details. So yeah, anyway, yeah, hopefully you've liked this video. If you have, be sure to hit that like button, it really helps out the channel. If you'd like to see more videos, because we're going to do a lot more, we're going to do some pretty cool stuff, hopefully next year, do some stuff out of an aeroplane and that, and I'll show you how I do my drone photography and a load of other things. Be sure to subscribe. If you've got anything you'd like to say, drop it down in the comments section below, and I'll do my very best to get back to you. Yeah, so I'm Simon, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Okay, bye for now.